Welcome back to VAR From The Truth podcast, second one of the year.
Mm.
Uh, obviously going to be recapping a lot of the fixtures that we had that happened in the middle of the week. We had the FA Cup last week, and we're going to be looking ahead to some massive Carabao Cup semi-final fixtures, and it's all picking up. How are you, bro?
Yeah, I'm good, man. Yeah, very good, thank you. Can't really complain, to be fair. Obviously, like you say, it's football at the moment.
Literally,
Doesn't
stop.
seem to stop. Nah, not one bit.
Thought
No.
I'd dress nice and smart for today's pod.
Fair enough. You look much better than me. I need to get my hair.
Uh,
But
so I always, do you know what? I'm starting to trying to time my trims with podcast. So like
just, yeah.
Saturday's like a good time, isn't it? Because
Mm,
then your trim still kind of hasn't expired by the
yeah.
time the bar from the truth. So
Just, I need to start doing that. Man.
so I think we were like discussing we want to make a slight change because I think we one of our most enjoyable episodes is points on the board.
Mm,
But I think we always have so much to talk about in points of the board. We kind of wanted to incorporate it a little bit into the main pod. So we're actually gonna start doing a segment of the podcast called Points on the Board.
mhm,
Which if you haven't seen it, it's our show where we review previous week's fixtures and review our predictions. And then we predict the next week's fixtures, and we're keeping a bit of a tally at the moment.
mm,
I think it's 4-2 to me, so it's all to play for, pretty close.
mhm,
Could go either way this week. Could be one behind me, or I could have pulled ahead. But we'll
mm.
review the fixtures. Should we jump straight into points on the board?
Yeah, man, let's do it. 'Cause I've completely forgotten about all the games, to be fair.
So I will say, looking at the results, this is the worst points on the board so far. We we only got a very few amount right. So if you did copy us and go to the bookies with an accumulator, you wouldn't have been happy.
Sorry about
Sorry.
that.
So first game was West Ham against Forest. You went for a draw,
Mm,
and it was looking that way until Forest got a last minute winner, I believe. And I did
mm,
predict a Forest win.
nice.
It was a
I
point.
think I predicted a lot of draws now, I remember. Yeah.
You did, yeah. I think you
Mm,
did, yeah. Um, and then we've got a Bournemouth against Spurs
ugh.
game, which you went for a draw,
Which again, 95th minute, Semenyo.
and I did go for a win in that one.
What, Bournemouth win?
Yeah,
Uh,
jammy. I've been saved by two like
yeah, last
really.
minute.
Do you know why I went for Bournemouth win in that game? Actually, I think Paul Merson was like on the Arsenal Bournemouth game, and he
Mm,
said they've got to win eventually. And I was just kind
yeah,
of, and he said something about, and I reckon it will be against Spurs.
yeah,
And I
yeah,
was just like, all right, calm. I'll see if he knows a thing or two. But
yeah.
yeah. And then we got Brentford against Sunderland. I went for a draw. You went for a draw.
Oof.
So I think Brentford ended up battering them, didn't they? Like 3-0.
3-0, yeah.
Yeah. And then Crystal Palace against Villa. You went for a shock Palace win,
Mm,
and I went for a Villa win, and it turned out to be a draw. So
yeah, 0-0, wasn't it? Yeah.
we both, and I think one of the surprises of the weekend was Everton against Wolves. We
Mm,
obviously both went for an Everton win,
yep,
and it was a draw.
yep.
And then another massive surprise, Man City Brighton.
Mm-hmm.
We both went for a Man City win,
Yeah.
and they drew.
Yeah. Got no points.
Then next game was Burnley against United.
Mm.
We both went for a United win.
Do you know what? Yeah, like when we do these fixtures, the next week's fixtures, yeah, I'm actually gonna think about it because like I'm just clearly going for the favourites all the time, and like I need to remember that the Premier League doesn't work like that.
But do you know what it is, mate? Like, you just got to go for your gut, innit?
I think it's just like when you read out the team, Man City, Brighton, Burnley, Man United, like you read it out and you just think, how can they not win that game?
Especially when they're at home as well.
Yeah, and I'm just like, but yeah, so when we do the fixtures for this week, I'm gonna really like think about it.
You know what I think it was as well? There's quite a few surprising results because it's coming to the end of that Christmas period, so a lot of the teams are pretty fatigued. So
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
like a lot of like shocks happened.
Mm,
Yeah, we got that one wrong. And then Newcastle against Leeds. Um, Crazy game of football that.
yeah,
Crazy game of football. Probably one of the best games of the season so far.
yeah. 4-3 on it.
I predicted a draw,
Mm.
and you predicted a Newcastle win.
Um, um, finally, finally.
Um, so yes, 2-1 at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
It takes us to our last game on the Thursday night, which was obviously Arsenal, and no surprises, but we both picked Arsenal to win that game.
Yep.
So out of, just count up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 games, we got 3 scores correct.
Wow, that is quite poor. That is quite poor.
So hopefully next week we're gonna do a lot better in it.
Yeah, yeah. I hope so.
Me too, man.
And another win for you.
It is. So it's 5-2
Damn.
in total.
I need to claw it back.
I'm sure you will, mate.
Mm.
Sure you will. Mate, you could have easily won if it wasn't for like a bunch of last minute
Yeah,
goals.
I suppose. Yeah.
It was just pure luck, bro. Right. So next week's fixtures, we've got the Manchester Derby
Oof, at Old Trafford, innit?
at 12:30.
Ooh, early kickoff. Never back the early kickoff.
You want to
Uh,
go first?
no, I'll let you go first this week.
I think that's got draw written all over it.
Mm. I'm gonna be brave and go United win.
Ugh. Do you know what? Please win that. I hope you get that point, bro.
Trust.
Really
Do
do.
you know what's gonna happen now? Like Man City will just walk all over them 4-0 or
Yeah,
something.
mate. Like they're either gonna get battered or like I've got.
Yeah.
There's a possibility where they get battered.
Mm. Yeah. But yeah, I'm gonna go United win.
Then we got Chelsea against Brentford.
Stamford Bridge.
Yeah,
Senior's first game in the league at home. Brentford are on form. That Thiago's on form. I'm gonna go for a. I'm gonna go for a draw.
I'm gonna go for a Chelsea win.
Mm.
I think they beat them 2-1. I just reckon like new manager.
Uh,
He seems like quite a nice like. I think they like him. He seems like quite good at
yeah,
managing people.
yeah. Like I've heard him like in his press conferences, like chatting and stuff, and like seems like he's sort of got his head screwed on. To be fair, knows what he's talking about, and to be fair, hope he does well, like in certain aspects. Like we don't see many like black managers as well and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
for that, I hope he does well. But I hope they don't do too fucking well anyway. But, I don't know. I just think they they need. I think we spoke about it last week. They do need like some older players, and they just need some more defenders. I think. Other than that, like they're all right.
Yeah, agreed, bro. Agreed. Well, bringing us on to our next fixture at 3 o'clock. Got Leeds at home to Fulham. I'll go first on this one.
Tough game.
I fancy a Leeds win here.
Mm, they were
I was
unlucky
thinking
against.
draw.
Mm, they were really unlucky against Newcastle. To be fair.
I just reckon Fulham. I don't know. I just feel like that Leeds are so physical. They've done well to do all right at St James's Park as well. And Calvert-Lewin's obviously scoring goals. Mate, it's a difficult place to go, that. And if you're not physically up for it, and I feel like Fulham aren't the most physical team in the world.
No, but they've been doing well recently. Obviously, like with Harry Wilson and all that sort of stuff.
Which,
Raul
like,
Jimenez.
which I want to give you credit for, because
Hmm.
you put him in your top 5 most promising players
Yeah.
of the season so far, and since then he's scored like a couple of very important goals.
Yeah. I'm gonna go for a Fulham win. I'm gonna go opposite to you.
I like that. Which leads on to Liverpool Burnley at Anfield.
It's got to be a Liverpool win, surely.
Yeah.
But I don't think. Yeah. That's one of those games. Like if it does go any other way, I'll just laugh.
Yeah, trust. That would be so Liverpool this year. Getting a good result at Emirates and then drawing to Burnley.
Well, I don't know if you watched any of it, but their game against Barnsley in the FA Cup, like it wasn't like all plain sailing. To be fair,
Was it not?
no, and a Barnsley player got voted man of the match. No, so
I saw Soboslai scored a screamer and then did like backheel
yeah,
before.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
they're just. Do you know? We'll talk more about Liverpool in a bit, but it's definitely a game I want to break down. That Liverpool Arsenal game, because I think there was a lot that happened in that game. Yeah, we'll talk about that in a bit.
Mm.
And then next game we've got Sunderland Palace.
Yeah, I'll let you go first. It's tough.
I'm going for a draw.
I was thinking that.
I'm not going against Sunderland because it's at home and they haven't lost there all year. I shouldn't have said that.
Nah, to be fair, but I thought like, going against them at home.
You love Sunderland as well.
Yeah,
I think you picked them quite often this year.
yeah. I'm gonna go for a Sunderland win, bro.
Faz.
Wonder if you'll pick Brighton this week.
Probably the week I don't pick them, they actually get a result.
Yeah.
Right. Next we got Spurs against West Ham.
Oh, bro, have you heard about Lucas Paquetá going to Flamengo or something?
Yeah, and he's like on strike.
Yeah, like I find that a bit of like a weird transfer. I don't like him going back to Brazil. Like I thought, I don't know, just could see him
You
going.
rate?
Yeah, yeah. Like I don't think he's like a world beater. Like,
No.
but I think he's good enough to like get into a lot of the Prem teams.
Yeah. He's got a bit of flair about him, doesn't he?
Yeah, like I could see him he'd start for he'd start for Tottenham. I reckon he starts for United. He starts for
Yeah.
maybe not Chelsea, so they got Cole Palmer.
Is he a 10?
Yeah, I think so. I guess. But I think he starts for a lot of teams around Europe.
Do you know what I don't think he's good for, though? I don't think he's the type of player you want in a relegation battle.
No, not at all.
Because he's a player that, you know, if you've got the
Bit of a
ball.
loser, wasn't he? Like luxury player.
Yeah, exactly. Like if you've got the ball and you know you're a possession-based team, then he's probably really good. But I don't think he's got that like he's got that main man like
Mm.
ego, doesn't he? And I don't think he'll work as hard for you. And he's obviously got a bit of an attitude now that he's going on strike. But you know, I swear he was linked with Man City a few years back.
Yeah, he was, and I think Aston Villa as well, and like just a few other like big teams. So
Yeah,
bro, times changed, didn't they?
they do, bro. They do. So yeah, Spurs, West Ham, at
Draw.
draw.
I do think Spurs will win, but I'm gonna go for a draw.
Yeah, I'm going for a Spurs win. Just only on the basis that West Ham are absolutely shocking.
Mm.
And then we got 5:30 kickoff, Forest against the Arsenal.
Arsenal win.
Yeah,
Like I said, I think no matter who we're playing, I'm gonna back
nah,
Arsenal win.
you can't not predict for your team to win, innit?
Yeah.
Then we got Wolves against Newcastle at Wolves.
Mm. They've been playing all right the last few weeks, but
We picked up a few points.
yeah, yeah. Um, Newcastle win.
I agree with you.
Mm.
And then we got Villa against Everton at Villa Park. I'll go first. I reckon that's a draw.
I'm gonna go for a Villa win there. I thought you were gonna go Villa win, to be fair.
They've got the draw syndrome now, mate.
Yeah, fair.
And then there's one more game, Brighton against Bournemouth.
I'll go for. I'm gonna go for a Brighton win.
Ah,
Go on, for the banter, go against them.
yeah, I will. I'm going for a Bournemouth win.
Say that.
Won't get that right. That's a confirmed point for you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was points on the board for this week.
Mhm.
Tune back in next week on VAR From The Truth, to see who came out on top. Obviously, make sure you're liking and subscribing. Put your picks in the comments. Who do you think's more likely to win? And also, the loser will be doing a forfeit.
They will.
I bought a Tottenham shirt um for whoever loses to win.
Got to wear it in the pod.
I've got to wear it on the pod.
I actually don't want to do that. I actually
Mate,
don't want to.
have you seen like those barbers? I think Reece James's barber, like he has one of those
Oh yeah,
hair
yeah.
covers, and he
Okay,
like puts like up, he puts it on, and it's like spurs, and like Reece James
yeah,
gets up. That would be one of us on
yeah, trash.
the the stakes have got higher now.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think we both wanted to talk about the biggest game of that midweek, um, which was Arsenal against Liverpool, a
Mhm.
game of two halves, a game that many Arsenal fans had written off in terms of it being a win.
Yeah.
Um, a game in which the weather was a massive factor, and I just wanted to know your thoughts on what you thought about that game.
Mm, I thought it was an awful game, mate. I think I said it to you like just after the game. I just like it. Towards the end of the game, I was just getting more and more wound up. Just by the way Arsenal were playing, and like seemed like they only had intensity like right at the end, like when obviously Conor Bradley went down. Obviously, we know what's happened since then, but like obviously Mane trying to get like the intensity was there then, but like it wasn't there the whole of the second half and most of the first half. To be honest with you, like I just found myself getting really annoyed watching it, and like there was no spark at all. I don't think really from either team, because you got to remember Liverpool didn't have a shot on target.
Yeah, first time in 600 matches.
Yeah. Now, although I think they kept the ball better than us for probably 75% of the game, they ultimately didn't create anything, massive with it. I thought Szoboszlai, nearly got there with that second free kick. But yeah, to be honest, other than that, yeah, it was a poor game. It was really,
It was
really poor game.
uneventful.
No, very uneventful. Like, obviously, I think I said to you as well the day after, like, it's another hard game out of the way. We didn't lose. The position stayed the same. It's obviously what happened with Man City and Villa. So it's almost like a nothing week. It was almost like just a week like skipped out. But it was such a good opportunity to go 8 points clear, and to give yourself just a little bit more breathing room coming up to, again, a very, very busy period over the next few weeks. We've got a cup semi-final, so we had the FA Cup. We've got a cup semi-final. We've got Nottingham Forest away. We've got other big games. We've got Champions League coming back. So it was a great opportunity, and a missed one, to be honest, with a wounded Liverpool team, mate. A very,
Yeah.
very wounded Liverpool team.
Yeah, no, 100% I agree. I think going into the game, I was nervous for it,
Yeah.
which I wouldn't have been if we were playing a Wolves. It had a big game feel to me because of who it was.
Mm,
And I knew Liverpool. I think I messaged you before the game and I said, you know, they're gonna make it. They're gonna sit back, and they're gonna be tough to break down.
mm,
And in the first half, they packed the midfield. They were basically playing with two fullbacks,
mm,
um, and didn't have much going forward at all, apart from short spells of possession. I
mm.
thought they kind of said, right, you got to break us down on the wings.
Yeah.
Uh, Saka, Timber. I think the yellow card for Trossard. I felt he was playing angry.
Yeah.
Um, for after that, it seemed, and his head wasn't really in the game.
Mm,
Um, I thought Gyökeres was very, very poor. Um, the thing about Gyökeres is, you know, I don't want to give up on him as an Arsenal fan, and I'm not saying he is going to be a flop. I have a feeling next season he's going to come into his own. I
mm,
think he's going to get more goals next year, but we kind of played into Liverpool's hands a little bit. I feel playing him.
mm,
Maybe Jesus would have been better, um, because they kind of said like if you come down the middle, you got to get past Van Dijk and Kanate,
mm.
and how are we? When Van Dijk and Kanate are on their game, they're very good players.
Yeah.
And Gyökeres kind of played into their hands a little bit. Like he's not going to win a physical battle against Kanate, is he?
No.
And he wasn't there when the balls got flashed across the box. His hold up play was poor, and I think Arteta is just waiting to get Kai Havertz back in that team as a starting striker, don't you?
Yeah. To be fair, the game as well, it did remind me of the first game that we had with them at Anfield for most parts. Like trying to get down through Van Dijk and Konate. Like it's, those two players, I feel like they struggle more against like the Dokus and the um. I'm trying to think of like that sort of ilk of player. like the one that's like got a slightly lower center of gravity, that's not fighting with them all the time. They're actually being a bit more like jinky.
Yeah.
Whereas, yeah, Gyökeres is just basically having a fight with two giants.
Yeah.
And although he's, pretty big himself, like those two are just as, if not bigger. So, yeah, it just reminded me of the first game at Anfield for a lot of the game. And I think the thing that annoyed me the most is the fact that, like, from I think game week 6, when Liverpool started drawing and losing games until now, Liverpool have been woeful. Like, their fans will tell you that. Like, obviously, yeah, they picked up a few results here and there because obviously they're still in like 4th place, but the other teams around them have been just as dreadful. So obviously that's helped. But they've been woeful this whole season. They were missing Ekatike, they were missing Salah. Who else were they missing in that game? Trying to think now.
They were missing Ekatike, Isak, Salah.
Isak. Probably a few.
That's it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, that's about it. So missing all that firepower, and we just we didn't capitalize at all. We didn't, apart from the first 20 minutes, like where we looked a bit dangerous. Like, yeah, maybe if we'd have got a goal in that 20 minutes, it might have changed the game. But if buts and maybes, and I think it just, I don't know, it just really made me annoyed, the fact that, like, okay, this season we're doing what we haven't done for the last few years in terms of, like, we've been beating the smaller teams, which are helping us pick up these points, like stay top of the league, which I'm really happy about. But I also want to make a statement and beat the big teams, mate. Like,
Yeah.
because you think, yeah, let's say we win the league. Look, no one's gonna care if Arsenal win the league. No Arsenal fan's gonna care about these results. Yeah, like, it's all about winning the league, and I do appreciate that. But let's say when we go to Etihad, let's just say we draw or lose that game, yeah. If we go on to win the league, we wouldn't have beat Liverpool and we wouldn't have beat Man City.
Yeah, I hear you, bro.
Like,
And Chelsea, let's say.
yeah, and Chelsea. I'm just like, as good as winning a league is, just like, we can't even beat the big teams. Like, do you know what I'm saying?
No,
So
bro, I do hear that.
it's a bit annoying. Like, I just really wanted to get one over on them. So yeah, quite frustrating, to be fair.
I think that second half was the most frustrated I've been all year at a football
Mm.
match. Like, I was genuinely like watching the TV, like, what is going on? Like, why aren't we winning any second balls? Why, whenever we get on the ball, why are our passes so loose? Why
Mm.
can't we play out of their press? And it was just like, it was infuriating to watch.
Mm.
And again, it was just, I feel like we played with in the second half. I feel we were very cautious. I don't feel like we went for it. I felt like maybe the message from the manager
It's like,
was
don't lose the game.
don't lose the game, which is why
Mm.
we sat in,
Mm.
and we'll have to judge him on that at the end of the year.
Yeah,
It might
yeah.
turn out to be a good point. We'll see how Liverpool do against, Man City or Anfield, or,
Mm.
and the thing is, Liverpool were always going to turn up to play Arsenal because, they were the champions. And I
Mm.
think you saw it quite often with Man United, didn't you? Even when they were woeful, doesn't matter when you play a
Mm.
team, a big rival, you get up for it when you're playing
Sort of
away
goes
from.
goes out the window, doesn't it?
It goes out the window a little bit because players are more up for it. The
Mm.
challenge for Liverpool is how they're going to get on against Burnley. Um, are the players going to be up for that game? You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah. No, I do agree with that. To be fair, I do agree with that statement. Um, and like I said, like, if Arsenal win the league, I don't care.
I
Um,
don't care, mate.
I really don't. It's just, in the moment, it's quite infuriating. Like, you wanna like prove you are the best by beating these teams.
Yeah,
Um, because, like I say, it's all well and good beating the smaller teams, and you have to do that to win a league. But it's always nice to just get one over on like a big rival. So, but yeah, it is what it is.
Do you know what? Did you ever hear what Mourinho used to do? He used to like map out every single game over over the Premier League fixtures, and
Mm,
he would like basically kind of put what would be acceptable in each game. Like some of them are obviously 3 points as a must, and
mm,
then against the bigger teams, a draw would be okay.
yeah,
Do you think Arteta's done something like that, and he's actually put Liverpool down as, do you know what, a draw's actually a good result at home in the because I feel like there's been certain games this year, like for example, Crystal Palace. He's had this is one of the toughest games so far, and I think it's because like that was a must-win game for us, but it was a really tough game. But
mm.
against Liverpool, it might have been a draw might have been acceptable in terms of his long-term plan on winning the league, and I think maybe that have been why he was slightly cautious in the second half. I don't know. Just trying
Yeah,
to think.
maybe. Because I think as well, you got to look at it like, so obviously Man City dropped points. The last thing we wanted in that game is to lose it. Like, I think obviously, yeah, we want to go 8 points clear, but like I said to you, it's almost like a nothing week. It's another week that's gone by where we are still 6 points clear. So, if we'd have lost that game, would have been 5 points, and then do you know what I mean? So, yeah, maybe he has done that, and like I say, that at the end of the season, that could prove to be vital. Um, I would have just liked the extra cushion would have been, of
Yeah,
course.
I agree. It's like every title winning team needs that standout win, you know. It
Mm.
needs that, like you need to put that like authority down that, you know, we are the best.
And you know
We
what? I
are the
think
yeah.
maybe getting ahead of myself, but I think maybe that might come at the Etihad in April. I think that's when we go to the Etihad, and I think like maybe if it is still 6 points then, or 5 points, or whatever it is, if we go and win there, I think that could be the game.
That could be the game. I mean, I'll be happy if we do that.
Oh yeah,
Happy if we do that
yeah.
for sure. Um, but yeah, moving on. Obviously, Man City also drew at home.
Mhm.
Um, this over this spell to Brighton. Um, which obviously gave Arsenal that was a fantastic result for Arsenal. And probably if you look at the two fixtures, you know, is that a better that's a must win game there for City and they've dropped points there. And, in a week where Arsenal were playing Liverpool, a potential banana peel, a tougher game at home, they haven't capitalised. And we
Mm.
could be in a situation where Man City had won that game and it's back to 4 points. Um,
Yeah, no,
so
I agree. I agree. Missed opportunity, missed opportunity for Man City. Brighton sort of playing out their skin at the moment. Obviously, since that game, obviously they've beat United at Old Trafford, which I mean, to be fair, it's not that hard to do these days, but still, big win for them. Danny Welbeck playing really well at the moment. They've got Karen Matoma back, who's playing really well. I think he was the one that scored in that game
yeah,
against Man City. So, but yeah, missed opportunity, but I feel like obviously they've signed Semenyo now. That's confirmed over the line. He's scored in his FA Cup debut. Um, so that's a big signing for them, to be fair.
quick question.
Mm.
Semenyo, is he going to be a flop or is he going to do well?
I don't think he's going to be a flop. I think like when he plays, I think he'll do well. I think it's just that thing of when he plays, like what's Pep's thinking like, because at the moment, what is it? I guess it's Haaland, it's Shirky, it's Foden, it's Doku, it's Reinders. Like how do you know what I mean? Like what's the thinking? Like who's gonna sit out?
Yeah, exactly. It's a strange one as well because when I'm looking at it, I don't see a massive hole in Man City's. I feel like right wing is where they need someone because they've got Doku who is kind of inconsistent,
Mm.
but you've got Doku and Semenyo now on the left.
Yeah,
Is
I guess.
thinking wants Doku and Semenyo on the left and the right? Because I mean, if you put Doku, Haaland, and Semenyo as your front three, that's got to be one of the most powerful,
Mm,
quick, lightning front threes in world football.
mm. I think
Or
that probably is their thinking. I'm just then thinking, okay, so what happens to Shirky and Foden? Because only one of them can play then.
because my opinion, Cherky, bro,
But he
I I
ball,
think he's insane.
but yeah, he's a jerk, bro.
He's a problem.
Like, I think he has to play. Like,
He's their best. Genuinely, behind Haaland, he's their best player.
yeah, and I
He's
think
better than Foden.
footballing ability, he is their best player.
Mate, it's rare you see a player like Cherky that just makes it look so effortless. And
Yeah,
like he looks like he's just, he reminds me of a mix between Adel Tarat and Neymar.
yeah, and like I think you could even sprinkle a bit of like Riyad Mahrez in there as well. Like,
Yeah,
he's he's one of those players that like you pay to go and watch. Do you know what I mean?
and
Like,
like when I've been hate watching Man City, every
mm.
time he gets the ball, I'm like, nah, what's he gonna do? And he does, and like he does, like every time he gets the ball, especially around the box, he's looking for a clever pass. He has the
Mm.
ability to. He doesn't seem that quick, but he always seems to glide past his man as well.
Yeah.
Mate, he is
I
a
think it's
big
his first
problem.
touch. Like, first touch almost gets him away from people, and then there's a couple of yards. He's a special player to be. 35 million, mate. 35 million. Like, when I think about it, yeah, that could have been a player that like Arsenal should have been looking at. Do you know what I mean?
Had to be looking at, bro. He's
Like
like
I
he's the
know.
market. He was the opportunity of the summer. But
Yeah.
I think things were already agreed with City.
Mm.
Um, but I don't. I think he's one of the reasons that City have resurged. And
Yeah.
like you look at their comeback in form, and I think Cherky was injured at the start of the season. He's
Yeah.
come back, and now they went on that game winning streak,
Mm.
and he was a massive reason as to why that's happened.
Yeah.
Because he's
Yeah.
clinical, he's a baller, he's a big problem, and I think he is. Shirky is what Liverpool fans wanted Florian Wirtz to be,
Mm.
and they got him for 35 million.
Yeah.
Now you're adding some Menyo to that as well.
Yeah.
You know,
So yeah, I think to answer your question, I don't think he'll be a flop. I just worry about how much game time he might get. I'm sure he'll be all right. They wouldn't have signed him for no reason, but you know what Pep's like sometimes. Um, and also
I just
how long is Pep going to be there? Do you know what I mean? Like, um, if he doesn't win the league this season, that'll be the first time he's not won the league, like 2 seasons in a row. Is he going to want to get one back before he leaves, or is he going to just say, "Yeah, you know what, just call it a day"? So who knows, man?
who knows? Who knows, bro? Who knows? Well, couple obviously a couple managers have lost their jobs since we
Mm,
last spoke. Um, the two biggest clubs in the world, you could say.
hmm
Ruben Amorim. I think we spoke about this. We did speak about this last time.
Yeah.
Um, and I think they just appointed Michael Carrick as the interim manager till the end of the season.
Mm,
But I was watching a video actually today on my lunch. Um, the assistant manager is Gareth Southgate's assistant manager for England.
wait, say again?
So the backroom staff,
Yeah.
the
So
so
Carrick's
Mike
assistant.
Carrick's assistant was Southgate's assistant,
Oh, okay.
and I've seen loads of United fans losing their head because they're like, "Well, it's obvious what's happening here. It's
Mm.
obvious that you know
But you know
Gareth
what?
Southgate can come in the summer."
Do you know what? I don't think that's such a bad thing, mate. Like, I really don't. Um, I think, all right, I appreciate the England job is a lot different to the United job, and in the England job, you're getting the pool of the best players in England. I appreciate that. Whereas at United, obviously, you've got what you've got there. You can make a few signings, but it's do you know what I mean? So I understand that bit. I just think in terms of like handling the media, he's very good at. Um, Getting players and like the fan base on side, he did that very well for England. Like I think before he took over, like England and like England fans, like there was a really big disconnect. It reminded me a bit of Arsenal, like before Arteta. Like there's a big disconnect between the fans and the club and the players, and like that's obviously come back a lot now, and you see how loud the Emirates can be. And I think that was the same with England. Like a lot of the fans, like now that England, when the England camps are on, the players actually want to go. Like they're actually excited to go there, and I think that was down to him. So I think it'd be a decent appointment. I just think there's so much other stuff wrong with the club. Like it almost doesn't matter who they employ. Like they could have Ancelotti, they could have Luis Enrique, Pep. Like I just think there's so much rotten with the club that like doesn't really matter who they've got. It they're not going to win a league anytime soon.
Yeah, yeah, mate. I do get what you're saying, and I think one thing Gareth Southgate would come in and do at United is sort them out defensively. I
Mm,
think he would make sure that like one of the problems United have is, they leak goals. They
yeah.
create plenty of chances, but they leak goals. And I think, they've tried these fancy dancy new age managers. They've tried the Ten Hags. They've tried like, you know, the Pep disciples. They've tried Ruben Amorim.
Mm,
Maybe it's time to try something a little bit more, simple.
mm,
Someone who's just going to get them back to the basics of defending, attacking, and
yeah.
not trying to overcomplicate in a system. And I understand why. I'm trying to put myself in a United fan's shoes.
Mm,
And if I was in their shoes and Unai Emery just got sacked, and I found out Gareth Southgate was coming to the Emirates, I wouldn't be particularly happy either.
mm,
But what you might do for United is give them a little bit of stability, consistency, and get them back to the basics of like of just playing football and being a hard team to beat, which at the end of the day is what they kind of need to do.
mm.
Um, but yeah, I actually do. I agree with you, but I can understand why there's going to be a massive uproar if they sign him, mate.
Yeah, of
If they hire,
course. Yeah, I get that. But I think as well. I think United fans, like, or some of them anyway, they're like, I was watching the FA Cup game against Brighton that they played, and they kept panning the camera to Alex Ferguson. And I just thought, like, bro retired like nearly 15 years ago. Like, just allow it. Like those days are well and truly gone. Like 15 years, bro. Like, how are you not over that by now? Like,
did you hear what Roy Keane said?
yeah, bro. Yeah, like man's lingering like a bad smell. But it's true, bro. Like, all right, maybe not to that extent, but like it is true. Like I think a lot
He
of
is
the
just
fans,
there, isn't he? Like, he's just
yeah,
every
like
single game, like he's just at Old Trafford, like eating some crisps, like he's always chewing, watching the
bro,
game. Like
and like
he's got
Like, there's nothing wrong with him like watching the game, but I just think United fans are hanging on to this like fantasy land that they used to be in. Um, and I think as well, like you got to remember, like football, it goes round in cycles, bro. Like at the moment, it's Arsenal, Man City, kind of Liverpool. Obviously, it has been Liverpool in the last. Like it was sort of obviously it was at the start of the Prem when the Prem's first started. It was Man United. It was their cycle. Then it was Man United and Arsenal. Then it was United and Chelsea, and then it was United and Man City, and then it was Man City and Liverpool, and now it's sort of Man City and Arsenal. It just goes round in circles, bro. It does. So like, I don't think they should be. Their time will come again. It just might not be anytime soon. Like Arsenal haven't won a league for 20 years. Liverpool didn't win their first one for 30 years. Like, um, Chelsea haven't won a domestic cup since 2018. Um, like, do you know what I mean? It does go around in circles. They've had they filled their boots early enough, and yeah, the last 10 to 15
Like,
years.
I mean, a perfect example of that is Arsenal,
Yeah.
because before Arteta, he obviously we went to to Tottenham and lost. We lost to get in the top four, and it was all doom and gloom. Next season, few good signings, and they're in we finished second and almost won the league. It
Mm,
just takes one good season, and if you think back to that time, there was protests outside the Emirates trying to get the Cronkies out.
and
Similar
that,
to what's happened to United, and then all of a sudden, one summer, one a few good signings, some good momentum, and then you know, now look at Arsenal now. All came from that one summer,
yeah,
that
and
when Gabriel Jesus, and it just can change so quick.
yeah, you don't see anyone sort of complaining about the Cronkies now. Like they put their hand in their pocket when every single summer they've paid big money for players, and they've kept faith in Arteta, and it's going in the right direction every year. And
Yeah,
I think in my personal opinion, I think this year will be the year that we see sort of start the um return of investment almost.
100%. And like another one, Liverpool. They just won the league. Now
Mm,
look at them; they're in crisis.
mm, yeah.
Football is such a it's so fickle, and it can literally things can change so quickly. You're one game away from a crisis in football. You really are. No, no,
Absolutely. And wow, mate, can you imagine if Arsenal had lost that game to Liverpool? Like, there would have been a bit of a. And if Man City had beat Brighton and it would have gone down to, say, 3 points, people would have been like, oh, shit, here we go again.
even Brighton. Yeah, yeah,
Like it's gonna,
yeah.
yeah, they're gonna bottle it and blah, blah, blah. And like, it would have been the same headlines. So, like, you're right. You are one game away from, you know, uh,
Crisis.
peril, and one game away from success. So it's a very, you can only judge things right at the end of the season. But I think
Yeah,
one thing I wanted to um touch on, to be fair, is uh Champions League, bro. Obviously it's been away for a few weeks over the Christmas period. Obviously I think it's back next week. Obviously we're coming towards the end of the group stage now. Obviously we'll find out who will be in the top 8 that will qualify, and then obviously the playoff places and etc. And I just thought, like, what are your thoughts on, like, who's going to go far in the competition this year? Like, um what are your thoughts on that? Like, obviously I guess obviously we saw the Super Classico the other day, where Barcelona beat Madrid 3-2, and there's another person who's lost his job, Xabi Alonso. Could talk about that in a
mate.
minute.
That
Um,
is. Let's touch on that because
yeah,
that is absolutely ridiculous.
yeah, it's mad, isn't it?
Ugh. I know Real Madrid is like I know they do things differently, but
Mm,
how are you going to hire a manager like Xabi Alonso, a young manager who is a bit of a project manager, and sack him at the first hurdle?
And you know what, mate? They begged him. They begged him to come last season. Like they begged him to come. Like he was like, it was like being the chosen one. Like obviously after that season he had with Leverkusen, and they literally were like on their hands and knees begging him to come. And yeah, like you say, like supposedly I've heard things about like the players in the dressing room and Mbappe and blah 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 and like the egos and stuff. And yeah, it almost sounds like he was almost fed up with it as well, I think.
Yeah, must have been.
Yeah, like
Something's definitely had to go on behind the scenes there.
because
Um,
because it didn't say that he got sacked. It was like a mutual agreement. So like I think
yeah.
he's also probably, yeah, I don't know, maybe just can't get the players on side or something. Um, yeah, I don't know, but it feels like Madrid at the moment, like
They're in a bit of a crisis, mate.
they are.
They're probably in like the worst. And mate, if you look at their team, it's not that good. Like
No,
you
no, it's
actually
not.
look at their team, that you look at Courtois, they don't actually have a right back, a proper right back. You know, well they have Trent, but you know,
Even
he's not been doing
he's
very
injured.
well. And then look at their centre backs. You've got Rudiger, he's all right. You've got
Mm,
Hoyset, who's a young centre back, could be good, and you've got that Militao. Then you've got that Caceres, that left back,
yeah, yeah. Or Fran Garcia, like they're both dead.
Fran Garcia, like they're dead. And then you look at their midfield, it's like Danny Ceballos. Every time I watch Madrid play, Danny Ceballos is coming
Right.
on like, every time. Like,
Do you know what he
um,
reminds me of, bro? You know, in like Sunday League, and you had like the manager's son. Like
yeah,
that's like how's my man still at Real Madrid after all these years? Like he's definitely like the
yeah,
manager, he's definitely like Fiorentino Perez's like nephew or
yeah.
something. Like, yeah, just yeah, like I see him playing, and I just think like bro couldn't get a game for Arsenal.
Bro's like definitely dating like he's married to like Fiorentino Perez's like daughter or like
Trust,
granddaughter or something like
trust,
that.
yeah,
100%.
100%.
And then you got Tchouaméni, Camavinga. You know, Modric isn't even there anymore. And you
Mm,
got that Arda Güler, who's, I mean, he's all right, but and then
mm.
you got Bellingham, who for some reason, mate, Jude Bellingham is not a 10.
No, no, I don't think.
Like he's not a 10, and I don't know why he thinks he's a 10.
Yeah.
He's a box to box midfielder.
I think that first season under Ancelotti, like obviously they didn't really have a striker, so he was like the one getting the goals from the 10 position. But that's only because they had Cruz and Modric doing like the 6 and the 8 work,
Yeah.
that allowed him to like almost be that. And obviously without having like a Mbappe up there as well, like that allowed him to sort of go forward and get the goals. And obviously he just went on a run, didn't he? And it's almost one like, once you start scoring, you just can't stop type thing. But I think now that they've got obviously Gula or Rodrigo, whoever you want on that side, and then you've got Vinicius, and then you've got Mbappe, and it's like it's too many players that are similar in how
Yeah,
they play.
they're similar. You're so right, mate. You're so right. They
Like
are all similar.
they could do they could do with like if they want to. In my opinion, I'd be selling Vinny Jr. I don't think he's amazing. I think no, maybe that's a lie. I do think he's a good player. He is a very, very good player. Um, and I think he's shown world class abilities. However, sometimes not so much. But I think, like, I personally think Rodrigo is better than him.
Yeah, I think Vinny is, ability wise, he's got it. It's his ego, mate. That
Mm,
guy's got the big. You've got Mbappe and Vinny, probably the two players with the biggest egos on the planet
mm,
right now, in the same team. battling it out to be the star man.
Mm.
Mate, it just looks like, and the thing is, they're not that different. I mean, Mbappe's more of a striker, but they're small, quick players. Rodrigo, small, quick player. You know,
Mm.
there's no balance in that squad. It's just like,
Do you
it's
know,
a weird, it just doesn't flow.
they need like Haaland up top, like something different, like big striker type thing, like or like Gyökeres or something. Do you know what I mean? Like
They could
just
have
a
done with Joker.
yeah,
I
just
reckon
like a
he'd have done
different
well.
mold, like a different type of player up there. And I think they are missing stability at the back and definitely in midfield with like Cruz and Modric not being there. I think they're missing that. Like I feel like they're a young team. Do you know what I mean? Like they're a very young team at the moment. Like obviously we spoke about Garcia, Raul Asensio that plays at the back with Huijsen, Trent, Camavinga, Tchouaméni. Like they're all young players. Gula, Vinny Jr. But like Mbappe is probably oldest at like 27. Give
Yeah,
or
it's
take. Do you
mad.
know what I mean? So like, they're a really young team, and they need some experience, bro. But
100%.
going
But
back,
yeah, going back to the Champions League, I'm sticking with my prediction as much as I don't want it to happen. And obviously, I want Arsenal to win the Champions League. I think, Barca. I think Barca will win it. And
yeah,
obviously, everyone's going to say, "Well, Chelsea battered them." Yeah, Chelsea battered them without Rafinha. You know
mm,
that a lot of their players weren't fit. But when you go to when their best 11 is a joke,
yeah,
and Pedri is a joke.
mm,
A lot of people say Declan Rice and Caicedo are the best players in world football in midfield, but I think Pedri's probably the best,
yeah,
best midfielder, and the way he dictates the play and so creative, he's insane.
mm.
Um, and Frankie De Jong, bro, he's sick as well. You know,
I was just about to mention.
I just feel like I've got a feeling Barca, and I think they've got Lamine Yamal, mate, who's I think he's just that guy's can just create magic out of nothing.
Do you know
When he's
what
on his
else as
game.
well? Like Lewandowski's still scoring goals. Rafinha's back and seems like he's playing some really good football at the moment. He scored in his last few games. Obviously scored, I think 2 against Madrid in that cup final.
Yeah,
So yeah, I think they're up there. I think, in my opinion, I think either Arsenal or Bayern Munich might win it.
yeah.
I think probably those two maybe. Bro, random.
I think
Did you hear what that Lennart Carl said about Real Madrid?
Real Madrid.
But like that's his like dream to play for them and stuff like that. Don't you think that's
Yeah,
like
he
a
wasn't
mad
fucking there,
thing
was
to
it?
say?
Trust. That's like that's not what you want to say to the press. Like when you're doing like a player career mode, like
Yeah, yeah,
that's not what you.
yeah.
That's the wrong way to answer that. But yeah, I think touching on the Champions League, I do think it's between 4 teams. I think
Mm,
Arsenal, Bayern, PSG, you can't write them off,
no.
and Barca.
Mm. I
And
think with
Man
the
City, you could throw them in there.
yeah. I think with the Champions League, it comes down to like timing as well. Like one, it comes down to the draw, who you get on the way, and just hitting form at the right time, mate. Like
Yeah, exactly.
at the moment, I don't know if I back Arsenal to go all the way, just of like how they've been playing at the moment against like some of the bigger teams. But at the same time, you never know. Like come Feb, March time, they could kick into another gear, and obviously we've got Havertz coming back, etc. So we'll see, man. But it's going to be a exciting end to the season. Few months to go yet.
100%. And it's been a good episode.
Mm.
And there's a lot more to come from VAR From The Truth in 2026. So thank you for watching and
Mhm.
listening. Make sure you like and subscribe. Thank you as always, Josh. It's been a pleasure,
Thank you.
and see you next week, guys.
See you then. See you later, man.